have to focus on our mental state of mind and be able to. The first thing, as far as uh, stressing the mental health, is transition of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the first thing. A lot of these, it goes so deep with me. Like I look into it, right, and as you see what's going on in our community, you know, and it's like, why did the labels, all the major labels, why did they cut out A&D? Why did they cut out artists in development?
Mm-hmm.
Because that trains this new up and coming artist on how to walk straight. If you think back in the '90s, you
These
had
companies, you trying to tell me they don't got A&Rs anymore?
not A&Rs, A&D. It's called artists in development.
That's exactly what an A&R is, though.
Yeah, A&R, but see, they don't focus on artists in development anymore. They don't
I didn't
focus
know
on that.
that.
They don't focus on that.
I didn't know that. Go ahead.
Prime example of an artist that is been two artists that I know that Lil Yachty stresses artists in development.
Mm-hmm.
QC, especially with Lil Baby, they push that narrative on him. That's why you don't see him in much. You if you think about it, you don't see him. You don't hear him in trouble or you know what I'm saying. You don't see him, in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
He's have been in some things, but he's not popping up like this. Mind you, the young rapper from Arkansas, Bankroll Freddie, him and his father was just indicted. You know,
Along with 72 other people.
yeah, along with
They got the RICO with 72 other people.
you and your father. Now, this is again the transition. If my son right now was to make make that transition to where he has became wealthy from
Mm-hmm.
his hard work,
Mm-hmm.
we got to move different now. We got to sit down and we got to make this right. And that's what I mean, the guidance to the mental health and helping, because all this is the youth of our culture. All this is the youth. So it's our job to be able to not let them make the same mistakes that we made. But it's not even the same mistakes we made. It's worse than the things that we did.
I was just gonna say the shit that they doing is
It's
how
gruesome.
many how many how many fucking rappers that died in the last 4 years?
I stopped counting.
You see what I'm saying? Like I said, when you and I was coming up, the two major losses that we took was Big and Pop,
Absolutely.
and nothing after that. Pretty much nothing after that. Everybody else that died from some type of natural causes, no gunplay or nothing like that. But this generation, in the last 4 years, you can't even name how many rappers that have died. Period.
You got to look at
And violently, I might add.
yeah, and then beef back then in our era versus beef now. Beef back then was on wax. It was on wax. It wasn't, you know, man, we spinning on you when we catch you on
Mm-hmm.
sight. It was just on wax.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you might go in the club and me and you might be beefing and you in the club and they playing my record. It might go to where a couple of your guys gonna tell the DJ, hey, don't play that record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it didn't ever go to blows, guns. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you
Rico.
kind of didn't know because I read an article and found out later that Puffy and them was beating up DJs and smashing their turntables if they played Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah, but they weren't killing them.
No, they wasn't killing them, but they was fucking them. They was fucking up their equipment and beating their ass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They was doing that shit.
But
I'm
it
not
was-
gonna even lie to you. They
it-
was, and nobody died.
Exactly. So that's my point. You see, that's my point. But again, that goes back to competition wise. They was beating up the DJs because they was in competition with what was on wax. They wasn't killing or stabbing. They wasn't doing that just because oh I'm FYG this and you know what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
wasn't about that.
Right.
It was about the competition of the record.
Exactly.
You know
I
what I'm
got you.
saying?
I
So
got you.
it's different now. And with what's going on, what's the guy name? No, it wasn't EPMD. Chuck D. Chuck D. Fight the Power.
Yeah, Public Enemy.
Public Enemy, right? And he spoke on it. You know, a lot of this stuff is boiling back down to the major labels. It's boiling back down to the major labels, and the thing about it is that they, it's a formula for these labels because they give these artists this money. The artists
Which
don't,
is a fucking loan.
which is a loan.
It's a loan.
They sign they soul across that dotted line.
Mm-hmm.
These labels know, okay, we're gonna push them out there. They gonna make a gang of music. You know, they gonna make a gang of music because one thing about it, as they are signed, you know, they can go in the studio when they want to. So they gonna be in the studio making records and records and records. By the time this artist either gets locked up or killed, he gone.
Mm-hmm.
He already done signed over. They got the rest of his masters and everything.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? For the duration. Now his family got to fight to try to get that back. But at the same time, he's still under a loan contract.
Right.
So it's like a win-win for the label. They make the narrative different, but it's not. That's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's playing over and over again. And Dame Dash said he'd love to see it happen when somebody actually finally comes out and sue one of these major labels and win them over. He said, and then they're gonna stop that, and then maybe music can go back to hip hop.
What are they? Under what grounds are they gonna sue them under? What grounds? What did they do wrong?
Well, it was something under the statute of basically promoting violence. Promoting violence. It was something about, you know, how they talking about the dead,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, because these rappers are actually putting in their raps what they did.
Exactly.
They
But
putting it in their rap.
This what I'm saying though. What did they actually do wrong? They didn't do shit wrong. They didn't tell you that this is what you got to do to get this fucking deal. They didn't tell you that. This
Right.
is shit that they going out and doing, and then going out and talking about it, and then talking about this is what we. All they doing is profiting off of the culture that they glamorize. You see what I'm saying? They glamorize this shit because, let me speak. What they doing is, it's a difference. When we were coming up, it's motherfuckers that always indulged and did what the fuck it is that they do. You know that. So, but the difference was people were into the art form. You had rappers that were into being rappers, even if they sold drugs on the side and all that kind of shit. They did that shit on the side. Their primary job was being an artist. You understand where I'm coming from? They was getting money other kind of ways, but they was into being an artist. It's different now. These motherfuckers that they signing now are not artists. You see what I'm saying? And then they'll get on camera and tell you that they're not an artist. They'll tell you in a minute. I seen too many King Von interviews when he was saying, I ain't a rapper, I'm a gangster. He was proud of that. You see what I'm saying? Even though you making money off of rap, you not really a gangster no more. Regardless of what it is. Rest in peace. God bless the dead. Whatever it is that you did, but you're eating and making money off of rapping and doing shows. That's where it becomes twisted at, because they won't let the other part go. You understand what I'm saying? They won't let that part go, JR. Of I'm still this street nigga that came up this way, woo woo this, woo woo that. But you making money now, legally. You see what I'm saying? But by you not letting that shit go, they get to eat off you when you die. So what I'm saying is, I don't really think that's their fault, because you kept living the way, like I said, the nigga mentality that you live. There's no reason that you still supposed to be sliding on ops and doing all this other shit that you talk about all the time, and you actually making legitimate rap money, and a fucking lot of it. A lot of it.
So you don't think that, do you feel that, like you say, what they can't let go, but, and you're right, you know, you really not a gangster no more, because you are artist, you perform, you doing shows, you making music, you making records, you making albums. That's a part of the mental health transition
Mm-hmm.
You see, and that's you know
No,
that's
I
what
get
I'm
exactly
geared
where
to
you're coming from. Go ahead.
because
Go ahead, preach.
it's necessary to really for us and all the other platforms to really start speaking, speaking on those type of terms because like we losing artists at a high speed rate,
At a
you know,
rapid pace.
at a rapid pace, and it's totally unnecessary, regardless if it's uh, jail, uh, murder, death.
Mm-hmm.
Like every week it's someone out of our culture that's then fell victim to one of those three things.
Exactly.
And again, going back to Bankroll Freddy, YSL,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we can scream all day long, free, thug, free Bankroll,
Free
but
Gunner.
free Gunner, but
Shit, you forgot about Casanova 2 times.
exactly, they hitting us with these Ricos now. They coming, they coming, but it's like in the culture they giving it to them. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? They ain't even really making them work for it. They just giving it to them, and it's to me it's crazy because it's like I've been thinking, and that's the only thing that I could break down. Like, where's they mind at? You know what I'm saying? They mental health, they mental is struggling. Because you you gotta know, and a lot of people will say, man, that's hard. But when you a real nigga, that money don't matter. Or this and that, or they narrative. Wait a minute, you gotta be selfish thinking like that. You selfish to yourself. Because ain't no way again. If I'm worth, I could be worth three. I could be worth 600,000 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I could be worth shit. You're not gonna catch me nowhere. Master P say he told his brother, told C Murray, he said,
Yeah.
man, listen, if you gotta go somewhere where you need a gun, you don't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Plain
Perfect
as that.
sense.
Perfect sense.
Perfect sense.
Perfect sense. And this was years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
P had it locked in his mind a long
Long time
time ago.
ago, yeah.
At the brink of his height.
Yeah.
He like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And he say, I looked up. I used to have an entourage with me and this and that. He say, and when I got with my accountant, and he say, the numbers didn't seem right to me.
Mm-hmm.
He say, and my accountant never took money. He say my accountant, he broke it down. He say, and a large chunk of my money was because I had
This entourage.
this entourage with
Mm-hmm.
me. He say he had to sit back and think like, okay, what am I profiting by having all these people around me?
Yeah.
They profiting, but
Yeah.
I'm not.
You not.
You know what I'm saying? I'm actually losing.
You paying out.
I'm paying out and getting nothing in return.
Nothing.
That's what I mean as far as thinking, mental health.
Mental health,
You
okay.
saying thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, do I want to live, stay wealthy, take care of who's important to me
Mm-hmm.
continuously, and have longevity? That's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
You got a platform now. And mind you, wasn't no social media nothing out back then when P them had to put in work.
Period.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's there for the taking now. You
Mhm.
don't have to do or work as hard as uh uh like Capone and Noriega, Nas, Jay-Z, Murder Inc., Rough Riders. Them people put in work. Street
Bad work.
teams.
Yeah, street teams.
Remember the street teams?
Ain't no
used to-
such thing as a
ain't
street
no,
team now.
Ain't no street teams no more.
You probably never go. I fuck around the trip when I see a poll poster.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I see somebody got a poll poster out there.
I remember
I
that.
had millions of I ain't gonna say millions. Whole bunch of fucking.
Yeah,
poll
we used to take them
posters.
down the
Yeah.
in your bedroom
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shit like
You know
that.
what I'm saying? You put the poll poster up to let the motherfuckers know that the project is about to come out, whatever it is that you dropping.
Yeah.
Next week, and they got the picture on there of you and what the title is and all that shit.
It stayed in between Roosevelt and Pulaski, damn near all the way down to like Homan, because remember George's music room was right there. And
Right.
man, like one poll I had like four
Okay,
different new
yeah,
artists
yeah,
albums
yeah,
finna
yeah,
drop. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? You
yeah.
can go up like, okay, he finna come out, yeah, he gonna come out.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
So
that
ain't
was,
no more of that shit, like you said. But you don't need the street team no more because they got social media.
so but see that's what I'm saying. Because that street team And a lot of people wonder, like, how the fuck did they get all this fucking money? Because a lot of shit that used to be in that budget been
It's
cut
cut
out.
off. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now it's social media.
Yeah.
That's why the labels look at the artists now and they be like, how many views you got?
Yeah.
How many subscribers you got?
Yeah.
Oh, he got 2 million subscribers already?
Yeah.
Okay, look, we're going to give you $2 million.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. Like, for some reason, you got 2 million people. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's voila.
Yeah.
So now, boom, now I got $2 million. You know what I'm saying? I just come from nothing. 2 weeks ago, I
Yeah.
probably had 7,000.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now I got 2 point something million dollars. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy. I got gang them. They ready to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they ready to party.
Yeah.
I'm ready to party. But it's no one to say, wait a minute, young man, slow down.
That's what I was finna say to you. See, that's the difference to me. Now that I can understand because you just got the money and you've been living a certain way up until you got this money. So I can understand that. But what I'm saying is somebody like the Migos, they've been well invested in and made a bunch of fucking money for a long ass time. So that's what where I'm coming from when I'm saying the nigga mentality, because you've been rich. You've been rich a long time. This ain't no shit that just didn't happen overnight. You guys been rich. They dropped their first record in what? 2011? I think.
12.
No, 2011. 2011. Versace. Whenever the first record they got popping for them. That was 2011. It's 2022. That's 11 years, bro. That's 11 years of eating, being comfortable, and knowing what it is that you got. And then they had a couple of years where they were on top. You hear me? I'm talking about everything that's moving through them, period. As far as the rap game went, that's what I'm saying. So, that's what I'm saying to you about as far as the mental health part. I'm just using them for an example. What I'm saying about a lot of artists, and just not artists, ball players and everything. When you've been at the top of your game for so long and made X amount of dollars and all this other kind of shit, you got to know that you don't have anything really to prove to anybody.